Bryan Stevenson, Just Mercy, A Story of Justice and Redemption. Get ready to delve into the shocking reality of the U.S. criminal justice system in the summary of Just Mercy, A Story of Justice and Redemption, written by Bryan Stevenson. This book sheds light on important topics including mass incarceration, excessive punishment, racial bias, unfair trials, and the unjust treatment of children, women, and the mentally ill. Throughout the summary, we will uncover the ingrained problems within the justice system that have contributed to a nationwide crisis of injustice, and reveal the harsh truth that often stays hidden behind the facade of entertainment media.
The truth about America's criminal justice system. America's criminal justice system has been excessively punishing people since the 1980s. The justice system started giving out extreme sentences for even minor offenses, which started the mass incarceration crisis. Writing bad checks that totaled less than $150 would land someone in jail for years. This change in sentencing and public opinion has caused the number of drug-related incarcerations to increase from 41,000 to 500,000. It's clear that America is now facing a nationwide crisis of mass incarceration. America's prison population has risen from 300,000 in the early 1970s to 2.3 million people today. This doesn't even account for the additional 6 million who are currently on probation or release. That means that 1 out of every 15 people born in 2001 will be in prison sometime during their life. All of this added up to form a systemic problem that continues to impact and harm people. The racial bias in America's criminal justice system. African Americans in America are more likely to be criminal suspects due to deep-rooted racial bias in the country. Shockingly, 1 in 3 African Americans will be sent to prison in their lifetime, compared to only 1 in 15 for white Americans. Unfair trials are also commonplace in the American criminal justice system, with African Americans often convicted of crimes they didn't commit due to the difficulty in proving their innocence. The exclusion of black jurors from serving on juries is one such example of this. For author and African American, the criminal justice system is a frightening reality. He shares his personal encounter with the Atlanta police, who illegally searched his car, and points out that his experience is all too common amongst black Americans. The horrors of America's prison industrial complex on children. America's prison industrial complex is not only cruel to adult offenders but also to children as young as 13 years old. During the 1980s, children were often tried as adults, leading to harsh punishment in real prisons with a high likelihood of physical and sexual abuse. Prosecutors in some states, like Florida, have no minimum age requirement for trying children as adults. The book cites Alabama having the highest global instance of minors sentenced to death during the 1980s. Courts also sentenced children to death until the U.S. Supreme Court took the death penalty off the table for children under 15 in 1989 and altogether in 2005. The author shares a client's experience of spending 18 years in solitary confinement after committing a crime at 13. The book highlights the need for reform in the justice system to protect children and avoid the brutal consequences of being punished as adults. The injustices faced by female prisoners. The American criminal justice system is known for its mass incarceration and unfair sentencing for the weakest in society. It's not just African Americans and children who are mistreated, but women too. Shockingly, the rate of incarceration for women increased by 646% between 1980 and 2010, which is 1.5 times higher than men. Most women in prison are there for drug or property-related offenses, and they are subjected to extreme conditions. For instance, Tutwiler Prison in Alabama holds about twice the number of women it was built to house in the 1940s. Female inmates are often abused by male guards and subjected to grossly humiliating treatment. Until 2008, many state prisons even handcuffed the female prisoners while giving birth. The worst punishment for a guard's improper conduct was temporary reassignment. Something must be done to address the injustices faced by female prisoners in America. Mentally ill behind bars. The mass incarceration of mentally ill individuals in the U.S. is a result of the closure of mental health facilities and mishandling within the criminal justice system. Between the 1970s and 1990s, many mental institutions were shut down, leaving genuinely ill patients imprisoned after committing crimes. In addition, the criminal justice system failed to consider the impaired judgment of mentally ill defendants in the 1980s, leading to unfair sentencing. The lack of treatment for mentally ill inmates has also led to inhumane conditions, as seen in Louisiana's Angola prison. Today, prisoners with serious mental diseases outnumber those in mental health facilities 3 to 1. These practices have taken a significant toll, leaving lasting scars on individuals and society as a whole. The trauma of mass incarceration. Being in prison can cause long-lasting emotional and physical harm to inmates. Even non-homicide crimes can lead to a lifetime in prison. The story of Joe Sullivan, who was sentenced to life without parole at only 12 years old, exemplifies the traumatic experiences of inmates. Harsh sentences also have a devastating effect on families and communities, especially marginalized groups. However, despite the injustice prevalent in the criminal justice system, positive changes have occurred. Progress and work ahead in America's criminal justice system. America's criminal justice system has undergone several meaningful changes, including a decline in severe punishments, such as the death penalty and life sentences, resulting in a drop in overall imprisonment rates. The Supreme Court has banned life imprisonment without parole for children, and life sentences without parole for children have also been eliminated. However, the system remains unjust for certain populations, with African Americans, children, women, and the mentally ill disproportionately incarcerated due to a prejudicial system. Many people do not have the financial means to obtain a fair trial, emphasizing the need for the criminal justice system to display more compassion. While progress has been made, there is still more work that needs to be done to ensure equality for all.
As we conclude our journey through the summary of A Just Mercy, we reflect on the sobering discoveries we've made. The U.S. criminal justice system has perpetuated mass incarceration, excessive punishment, and unfairly targeted marginalized groups such as African Americans, women, children, and the mentally ill. Despite significant reforms over the years, which include reduced use of the death penalty and life sentences, the justice system remains heavily biased and predisposed to view certain individuals unfavorably, if they cannot afford the proper legal representation needed for a fair trial. This book leaves us with a deep understanding of the challenges faced by those impacted by the system, and emphasizes the importance of continued work towards justice and redemption.